Don't worry about the box. That's just
Why are me and Chris under?
it's not working. It's all right. We're live. Let's go now. We're doing
Oh,
it.
what's going on?
Yeah.
What is going on, Canes fam? I am
I'll add the
Matty
music
Ice.
later.
He is Caniacs, and he is Chris. Chris, welcome back. How are we doing tonight, guys?
Fellas, what's up? No intro, but we're gonna keep things going on a high level here on probably the most important week in Miami Hurricanes football. That's what the State of the U said this morning.
Yep.
Yeah, man. We're just getting straight into it, man.
Podcasts won't know the difference, but the live people know the difference.
No intro, no filler today. It's all big time content.
Oh no, we're just
Let's
raw
just
dogging.
ride. That's it.
Hey, so we had last game of the season, regular season game of the season. Played Duke, good showing. How you boys feel after that game? Obviously, we're gonna get to the other stuff as well, but just specifically after this game, how you guys feeling?
They all showed up except for special teams. Gave up that. If they wouldn't have gave up that touchdown, I mean, we only gave up 3 points, and I don't.
Mhm.
I think they got less than 100 yards in almost every category. So yeah, I was pretty happy.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't have any complaints.
Don't get me wrong, it was Duke, but I mean,
Yeah, I think the spread was 21.5. So yeah, I mean that was a Duke performance that I think we all expected, right, Matt? I mean, I think that's what we all wanted to happen. Canes end the season winning 5 out of 6.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, if this was basketball, it'd be another story. But yeah, I think everyone kind of predicted this. Maybe not 37 points, but everyone kind of knew that this was coming. Did you guys watch the game in its entirety? I was kind of like doing some things, messing around, putting some Christmas decorations up, like. Or
get to see the
what did you guys do for it?
I didn't get to see the first 3 minutes of it because I had trouble getting the game going. Then I realized Bob and then watching it, and then I just did a group watch.
Yeah, Chris, I don't know about you. You're on the West Coast. Like, what the hell happened? It was like I couldn't find it anywhere. It said it was on ESPN3, and I had to go to some like. I had to go to some Bosnian like fucking website to stream it. I was like, "What the hell am I doing, man?"
Nah, dude. If you just went to your ESPN app on your TV or however you get all your apps that you watch your streaming stuff off of, it was right. It wasn't ESPN Plus. You didn't have to log into Plus, but it was just right there amongst all the other games at 9:30 on regular ESPN
I had
app.
an issue, but I couldn't get it to play on mine. It kept saying it was supported.
Yeah,
I know it.
Yeah,
I know it's always been supported before, and all of a sudden it wasn't supported, and I was like, "Wait a minute." Yeah, I had to go almost to Bosnian. I watched it. I didn't watch it.
Okay. Yeah, I watched most of it and then rewatched a lot of the highlights. I mean, these young guys are special. That's what I really got to say. Jacoby George had some nice catches. Romello, I think he almost had another nice one too. He obviously had that one earlier in the season. But I got to say, man, these young guys, the future's bright. Whoever the head coach is, shit, it could be one of us, and you never know what could happen.
I could win.
Well,
yeah. Go ahead.
I'm assuming that's going to be part of the entree version of the show tonight, because every fucking 20 minutes and hour and a half, 2 hours, there's a different story out. So one of us might get it. One of us might be in Coral Gables by the end of the week and might sign on the dotted line.
Man, I've been watching college football a long time, and old, so it's okay. But I can't remember the last time I've seen off season this crazy with coaches moving. The transfer portal is just going out of control right now. It seems like everybody and their brother's in it again. It's weird, man. It's just I don't remember ever seeing it like this. Do you guys remember anything like that? I mean, I know you guys are younger, but I can't.
I mean, I think it reminds me of like college basketball, like the off season for college basketball. They had the most like players by like in the transfer portal by like almost 2 times or something at one point in the off season, which similar to that. And there are some coaches retired and stuff. new coaches coming in. So it's similar to that, but like this is never. I don't know the last time this happened in college football, man.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's big splashes, big splash city, man.
Yeah.
I'm loving the
so
not gonna lie.
So with that being said, obviously TVD, man, still cooking with, man, it's about to be a grease fire in the kitchen. Just got to be honest, man. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. What is that? Is that like I remember 6. The stat. It was 6 in a row. Yeah.
Yeah.
6 in a row
ACC
games.
record.
Crazy.
It's been held for like 25 years or something like that.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy shit.
That's insane. He's something special, man.
And
Mike
just
Harley.
imagine if he would have had the whole season.
I know he didn't start till week 4.
Right. So pretty much almost every game he's played in, he's had 3 and 3, 300 less than 3 tutties.
What did he end the season with? How many touchdowns was it? Like 27 or something total?
Something ridiculous.
26 or 20 or what was it? Dude, if he played all those 4 games as well, like man, he would have blown that shit up. I'm telling you.
Well, yeah, and he has a more yards, higher completion percentage. He's got more TDs and fewer interceptions than Sam Howell, who was the preseason ACC Player of the Year pick. So with 3.5 less start.
Right, and you know the hype crazy. They put on Sam Howell.
Big time off-season hype.
Now this is a Miami quarterback. How much hype do you think is going to be on TVD in the offseason?
He's the best quarterback coming back in the ACC. Absolutely, 110%.
If the ACC ain't pumping him for a Heisman candidate, I mean, they got something wrong.
Well,
seriously.
Look at the hype that De'Ara King got, and TVD, man, was on a stretch. Like, I'm interested to see too. Like, I know we're just talking football, but the NIL deals and stuff. Like, man, he's gonna be making some money, man. I'm telling you that. Yeah.
Well, he already trademarked that Tyler Van Dyne. He already trademarked that for clothing and other things. Yeah, that was a few weeks ago. He trademarked it. Yeah, man, it's a stretch like that we've never seen. Surely not in my lifetime that I've ever seen. I was actually messaging with him 2 weeks ago before the game, and just telling him how great I thought he was doing and this and that. And then he started following my page, and so I mean, I'm just super excited that we have a quarterback that everybody thought DJ was that dude, and DJ shit the bed this year for Clemson. This is hands down the best quarterback in the ACC coming back. So whoever the Miami coach is by the end of tomorrow or by Sunday night, they're inheriting the best quarterback in the ACC, which will be a true sophomore next year.
Absolutely. We got to talk to Mike Harley, breaks the career receptions, school record, and single game receptions too, I believe. Charleston Rambo gets that single season receiving yard record and the receptions as well. Mm-hmm. Charleston Rambo, man. I was someone, I gotta admit, like when he first transferred here, I didn't know really what to expect. I still thought Mike Harley was gonna be the number 1 option and the best receiver. Mm-hmm. But dude, Rambo balled out this season. I think we would have lost a couple games if we didn't have him, man. A couple more.
Man has got hands of glue. Now that's the second, and that's twice they've asked him, dude, how did you catch that ball? And that's twice he said, I didn't even see it. I felt it, and I just grabbed it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, that'll be your highest Miami Hurricane drafted in April. That's for sure.
I think
he'll be the top one off the board, I think.
I was watching.
Yeah,
I mean, I would hope we could maybe crack second, but yeah, I think probably third round and maybe sneaks into second.
I think high third, yeah, maybe at the end of second there.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we'll see. Combine always changes things.
Absolutely. I was watching the game. Which game was it with my dad? It was one of the ones that he had balled out, and my dad started calling him Hamburger Helper because it's like the Hamburger Helper is like that glove.
Yeah. It's
it was just like, oh man, what a nickname.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, just kind of shifting gears before we get into like the coaching talk and AD talk and everything. I thought we could recap the season, then maybe talk about, postseason, possible bowl games. But overall, Chris, I can't remember what we had said your record projection was for the start of the year. Was it 10-2 or was it?
It was. Yeah, it was.
It was 10-2. Mm-hmm. And Caniacs, I think yours was 10-2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was 9-3. I don't remember the number. I want to say that we said if Manny went 7-5, he would be retained, right? Like that would be the bottom.
I don't think we stooped that low, did we? 7-5.
Was it 7-5 or 8-4?
I don't know, but if it was 7-5, I'm sure it had to do with you had to beat Florida State, you had to beat Clemson, and you had to
get okay.
Saying,
well, not Clemson, but
I'm not Clemson, but UNC. Sorry, UNC.
Yeah. Okay.
I think if any of us said that Manny was going to be retained after 7-5 this year, then we probably took edibles before that episode because that doesn't sound right, dude.
Well, I mean, there's no anyways, but
right. I don't know about. But I'm saying if we did say 7-5 was his, cutoff point to stay, it would have to be you'd have to beat Florida State and you have to beat UNC.
There was scenarios to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with that being said, overall, I mean, one last 5 of the 6. Is there anything in your mind telling you like there's any way that he can stay the head coach of this team or no?
Go ahead, Chris.
Is he done?
You want me to take the floor?
Go ahead.
So, okay, check this out. 21-15 through year 3, right? We haven't seen his bowl game yet. He's 0-2 in bowls. He's 0-3 against the AP top 10, and he's lost those games by an average of 20 points. So against the elite of the elite, Manny's getting fucked up. And that should tell you in year 3 where the trajectory of the program's going, right? So you have this killer freshman class. You decided halfway through the year that you're going to start playing these freshman wide receivers. You're going to put LT up on the line. You're going to start giving TVD some run. You did the right moves, but you did them halfway through the year once things started going awry. And then it fixed it.
Forced to through injury.
He was forced to through injury, right? You and I could list off, the 3 of us, how many season-ending injuries we had this year. But for me, it's like, I understand it's all over the internet that the Canes are leaning towards keeping Manny Diaz. And then yesterday, we talking Lane, and then I got an inside source at the Oregon program that's at every single Oregon practice. So I'm getting my Mario info from him. And for me, if you accept 7-5 in year 3 of a coach, right? Manny had a great year last year, shit the bed his first year. If your trajectory is going like this, and you think as a board of trustees member, you think as a member of the fan base or the higher administration in that college, if you think 7-5 is acceptable in year 3, then you shouldn't be on the university's administration making these decisions. You shouldn't be on the board of trustees. I like Manny. He's a nice guy, and I think he fucking bleeds orange and green. But I do not think Manny Diaz is a D1 head coach at this level. Temple would have been a good gig, so we could take the temperature of the room and see what Manny's like at a Temple and in that kind of conference. But dudes that we're talking about and the names that are coming about, I mean, which way the AD goes, if we get a Lane Kiffin, he won Conference USA twice. He had 2 double-digit win seasons. Never before at FAU has that been done, or since. He's got fucking Ole Miss at number 8 in the CFP rankings as of this morning.
And their first double-digit win season in God knows how long.
Exactly. So we're talking about a dude that a revolutionary offense. He won a national title as Nick Saban's offensive coordinator. This is the caliber of guy that we're talking about going after, versus a dude that's 7-5 and lost to FIU and couldn't score against La Tech and almost shit the bed against App State, and then you fucking lose to the worst FSU team of the last decade. That dude, Manny Diaz, he's scheduled to make $3.5 million the next 2 years, right? Mario restructured his contract at the end of last season to a new 6-year deal. He's only making $4.3 million this year. So do you mean to tell me that Mario Cristobal, who's won 2 Pac-12 titles and is about to probably win his 3rd on Friday night, is he only not even $1 million better of a coach for an annual salary than Manny Diaz? I mean, Lane Kiffin's 4.5, so he's edging out Mario slightly. But those are the 2 dudes that, if you're a Miami Hurricanes fan, and I've been one since 1994, those are the 2 names that I want to hear. I don't want to hear any kind of talk of Manny Diaz. If you're a Manny Diaz sympathizer this week, get the fuck out of here, bro. I mean, if you're cool with 7-5, please stop watching the podcast right now. If 7-5 is your barometer of acceptable, that's my soapbox, and that's coming from a Canes fan of 25 years.
Caniacs.
Well, came here 6 years ago. Now I know I'm not judging his whole head coaching career on the 6 years because he was DC under Mark Richt, but we have to look at what he's done. His recruiting, especially in the linebacker area, is shitty. And let's be honest. I mean,
you want me to hit you with a linebacker stat real quick, KNX?
Go ahead.
I don't know if you saw this.
Go ahead.
Manny Diaz has never, in the 3 years that he's been a head coach, he has never signed a top 200 player that is a linebacker. And we can go through the names, KNX. You know the linebacker unit right now that we're talking about.
And it's no disrespect to the guys we have on the locker. We're just talking facts here.
Facts.
And if you notice the defense under him the last 3 years as head coach has gotten worse. Everything all the stats have gotten worse. As a total defense, the rushing defense, the whole it's gotten worse. And this whole and I have to agree with the OBB guys on this. The whole rebranding that he's trying to do, now we're rebuilding something. Had the same shit 3 years ago when you started the new Miami. So
Miami.
So how come in 3 years we went from the new Miami to now we're building something?
It's the new Miami.
Right. Foundations don't take 3 years. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take 3 years to
have
a foundation.
No.
No disrespect to Manny at all. He's a great guy. I understand the guys love him and they want to fight for him and they want to play for him, which I've been saying it the whole time. Guys were fighting for the dude. There may have been one or two in the locker room that may not have been, but 99% of the guys out there are fighting for Manny Diaz hard and the guys next to him. But
sure.
He does not need to be a head coach at the University of Miami anymore. He just it's not working. It's just something with him. It's not his personality or whatever. There's something that's not clicking. The evaluation is not right. Who he hires is not right. There's a whole program process there. Now, if the rumors are true, and let's say Zoe comes in and he is the man in charge of football operations, and they want to let Zoe make a decision, let Zoe sit down and talk to the guy. If Zoe wants to keep him, then I'm all in for it. So, you know what I'm saying? But me personally, as of right now, I don't think he is a D1. And you're right, Temple would have been better. Now, see, like Rhett Lashley, and I want to say this too, Rhett Lashley, man, thank you, brother. Thank you for bringing this offense to Miami. I know we joked around a little bit about running up and down the middle and everything, but with TBD and the right quarterback, you show that this offense can do something. And I hope Manny's right in his press conference. He said he knew he was leaving, obviously. But this is Miami's offense now. We're not going to go back to the old one. Well, let's see. That I hope so, because that offense shows that when we have the guys here and we put them on the field, we can run that kind of offense and beat almost anybody.
Well, and think about this. Rhett Lashley brought this Miami offense into the 21st century. And you're right. Thank you, Rhett Lashley, for the last 2 years. Manny Diaz, who decided to snub hiring a defensive coordinator in lieu of putting himself in the role. Manny Diaz's defense was ranked 105th going into the Duke game last weekend. Jeez. 105th, if you want to rewind and play that one more time. And that was the improvements that we're seeing in year 3 under Manny Diaz's watch. So I would love to get.
And if I'm not mistaken, he got fired from Texas, and his defense wasn't that bad. He wasn't.
He gave up almost like a school record, not like the North Carolina performance last year. But Mac Brown fired him the next morning. That was in the season, in the middle of the season.
So and then you look too, like individually at like Manny the Diaz. Player. You look individually, like just at the players on the defense too that like regress. And I'm not going to say names, but guys that have been here for years that literally got worse over their career. Like I don't understand how that happens. Like, from a technical standpoint, just from a talent standpoint, how does that happen?
Well, and I agree. I agree with you, Matt. That's exactly the right point that he said. Players in the last 3 years under Manny Diaz's tenure on the defense, except for the D line, if we want to count any other player on the defense, the other positions, they got worse over the past couple seasons. And we don't need to call out numbers, but the facts. Well, you had 11 games. And your defense was ranked 105th. You couldn't even crack the top 100. And you were supposed to be this DC guru. And you took it over in place of giving control to somebody else. That's my problem.
I thought you were literally about to call out every single player when you said that. You're like, we're not going to call people out, but.
No. I'm not putting out numbers. No, I'm not. They follow my Instagram.
No, but
I'm not putting out
your
numbers.
D-line numbers, except for one player, I mean, that really stood out, have all been portal, all been transferred, kind of like 1 year.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
sure.
Can't really count
you didn't
that.
develop
I mean,
that. You didn't develop that talent. That dude came in and was a baller.
Our D-line hasn't been the issue per se, but I mean, we don't have that guy. I mean, Nesta was supposed to be that guy, but honestly, Nesta's not the guy.
Well, let's talk about this. Not consistent. He's my favorite player on the defense, but again,
he's just not consistent.
I mean, I can't tell you one game this year where he dominated a football game for 4 quarters, but I still love him as my favorite player on the defense. But I wanted to touch on this, which I've been hot all week and I've been amped up all week. So this is perfect that you guys had me on tonight. When that game got over, I'm literally talking within 60 minutes of that Duke game getting over. I can't tell you. I mean, it doesn't even fit on 2 hands. I have to have three hands. How many Miami players tagged Manny Diaz in tweets within 60 minutes or 2 hours of that game ending? We love playing for @Manny Diaz. @Manny Diaz is building something special here. @Manny Diaz is a great coach. Only the beginning. It was like verbatim, like these note cards were handed out to every fucking player on the offense. And Manny, the politician, who we know his dad was the mayor of Miami, come vouch for me and let's get this thing right, man. Our offense is jiving. We've won 5 out of 6. Not one defensive player made a tweet tagging Manny Diaz. We need to keep Manny. We want to Manny.
Except for number 11.
Oh, did you? Okay, you saw him. Okay.
Yeah, Brooks come out, and it was actually, I want to say, it's one of those like Kane's Access or one of those guys who always, do the extra boards or whatever, and they said that about him. But bringing back to that, they're all trying to dog him about that actually, because they're saying like 2 weeks ago he was calling out Manny. But if I'm not mistaken, when he said that about the penalties in practice, didn't he say that Manny Diaz was always getting on to people for that? I mean, he wasn't like calling.
You're talking about Corey Flagg?
Right, Corey Flagg. Because I remember him. I back and watched it, but remember him. They were asking him about the penalties from that one game, FSU. After that game, Corey Flagg was like, "Yeah, I'm not surprised it happened because it happens all the time in practice."
Yeah,
and the people stopped right there. If I'm not mistaken, he continued after that and said that Manny. Trust me, this is not whatever for Manny, but he said that Manny Diaz right then gets on to the people and the players about the stuff. He gets them in trouble, but nobody thinks about that. You know what I'm saying? But he is pretty much the only defensive player that I've seen. You're right. Come out and actually support Manny. Well,
and that's the thing. And don't you think that's a little ominous that the season ends and all these players within 60 minutes start rifling off these pro Manny tweets, almost like they were given verbatim, start kicking this out once the game gets over because I'm on the chopping block. The defense, by and large, minus Corey Flagg, who's we've talked about was a giant disappointment this year. Why would everybody on the offense do that and almost put like this fake propaganda out just to kind of swerve potential candidates like a Mario or Lane from wanting to come sign because all the players have Manny's back? And I'm not saying Manny's not a cool dude. He seems like a fucking chill dude that you'd want to watch games with or hang out. He's got a very engaging personality, but I think he's more of one of the bros in practice. Yeah. When you fuck up and jump off sides twice, or you get a holding penalty on the offensive line.
You see it on
have you ever seen
Manny's?
Have you seen him grab somebody before? Have you ever seen him chap somebody's ass? I've never seen it in 3 years.
I've seen Mario do it. I saw Mario chew the shit out of someone.
Well, and I'm not saying you have to be an authoritarian iron fist like Smash Mouth, like this ain't the 1960s, but Manny Diaz, I feel, does not hold people accountable, and that regression has translated into the results that we've seen rapidly declining over the last 3 years.
Right, but you've done management before, right? You had people.
Long time.
Everybody's different. Some people need that kick in the ass. Some people just need a pat on the back. Some people just want to be told every day, you're doing a good job. Some people just don't want to be messed with. They want to get their review. You can't be the same person for everybody. It just doesn't work like that.
Sure.
Yeah, you gotta.
But I see the same dude on Saturdays, and obviously I'm not on Green Tree or the IPF, but I see the same dude on Saturdays who looks like he does not want to ruffle feathers when he approaches somebody. His body conjecture, the way he talks, visibly, I'm kind of reading him. He just looks like a dude that just doesn't really want to ruffle feathers. You got a couple penalties in a row, James Williams, a couple personal fouls. All right, man, it's all right. But it's always all right until it's not. And the results, I think you have a guy that's in charge that doesn't hold people accountable. And this is where we are. I mean, I'd love to get your take on it, Matt.
No, I absolutely agree with that, and I think that's been the problem not just under this coaching tenure, but over the last several coaching tenures. And I think that's something that, hey, you bring in a guy like Mario, and I think that can change. I'm not saying we're going to hire him and immediately become natty prospects, but I like his personality. I like him as a coach, and I think he can definitely bring something special here.
Like, I know I always go back to the Orange Bowl boys, or I always reference somebody else because I listen to everybody. I mean, because I love it, all the guys. I don't care if it's podcast or whatever. But like the Orange Bowl boys, they said that and if you think about it, is right. After Golden left, I mean, crappy season. What were we, 6-7 or something like that? I know it wasn't a winning season when he got fired. Rick came in afterward, and what happened after that? We went 9-3 or 9-4, won a bowl game. You know what I mean? And after that, we went 10-3, but we lost the bowl game. You know what I'm saying? So they are right. It can take that coach to come in and set that standard to get you pushed over the edge. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think and we don't know how this is going to happen. I think by the time you guys do your show next Tuesday, there's going to be maybe
Mario. I'm talking about Lane or some kind of coach of that caliber.
Sure. Well, if you and I think we could put this prediction out now. If you hire a Mario Cristobal or a Lane Kiffin, Mario Cristobal, the belle of the ball in the Pac-12. Lane Kiffin already got a natty with his offense, and two-time conference champion at FAU. If you hire either one of those two, this team does not win 7 football games next year with this talent pool. Zero chance that this team wins 7 football games, but they will under a coach like Manny Diaz. And I think if Manny comes back by some stroke of God and he's the coach of this football team in 2022, we will not get double-digit wins. Even if Tyler Van Dyke is the quarterback, you will shit the bed against teams that you're not supposed to shit the bed against. You will get the Manny coach speak when he says, this is what Alabama does to people. This is what Michigan State does to people. You remember that? We heard that for 3 weeks in a row. We heard it during App State.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You interject. I'm
just saying. Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, but there's only one way that he could probably save this whole ordeal if they decide to keep, as the CEO guy. He has to give up the DC role. Period. He has to bring in a DC on his own. That DC run the offense. We have to get away from Manny's
defense. Yeah.
Sorry, defense. Yeah, got to get away from. He's already got to hire an OC already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whoever the coach is, whatever. So he's got to say, you know what? I can't do both. I can't be a DC and an OC because I'm still learning the head coaching job. Look at me, OC. I can't be a DC and a head coach at the same time because I'm still learning the head coaching job while I'm trying to do the defensive job. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's not forget he's the guy that hired Blake Baker, who was absolutely fucking horrendous as a DC. And then he put himself in charge.
Right, and then he put himself in charge.
And he wasn't even top 100 defense going into the last week of the season. So you made 2 horrible hires, and we can throw Enos on the other side of the ball. He's, like Matt said, he's made epic failures of hires, which tells me that you don't have the decision-making ability and the ability to gauge talent and evolve and talent evaluation. You don't have the ability to put the right pieces in place, which means you shouldn't be a CEO in this position that you're in right now. And you've had 3 failures to if I'm a board of trustee member or I'm Julio Franco, the new AD, you have failed 3 times. And I've managed many stores in the past as a store manager. You've given me the criteria that I need to say you've not sufficiently done this position.
Can't argue with
it. Yeah.
That's my soapbox, man. Please retort if need be.
No, I mean, you can't argue with that. I mean, it's just, I'm just saying that I don't know what's going to happen. I have no inside info. I tweet bullshit. I love to have fun. I'm not an insider. Never have I claimed to be an insider. But too many people are saying too many different things. I mean, that's like just like today. Gino's now going to be the AD and Zoe's going to be the football operations. Well, then next thing you know, my source says that Zoe's going to be the AD and Manny's not getting fired. Or now it's Manny's not getting fired and we don't know who. Tom Zurich is. man, there's probably only 3
It's a
people that
shit
know what's
show.
going on. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I'm loving it on Twitter. It makes for some
I feel like
news,
it's almost like a struggle for power or something. Like some of these board of trustee members want to put something out, make it seem like something else is happening, maybe to lure away some some possible head coaches. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. And obviously there's also the people on Twitter that just start shit because they hear something from some random dude that fucking DMs them or something.
But those Twitter spaces, though, if you get in there for certain ones, you just got to go see who's talking, of course, But
I'm not talking about Twitter spaces. I'm just talking about the random people that post on Twitter.
But they've had some pretty good conversations.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. So, with all that being said, let's go over this first. Ooh, you okay there?
Yeah, still recovering, almost done. At least I can talk without, coughing every 5 seconds.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it. So, good thing we can't get COVID through the screen.
We got a bowl game coming up. We just don't know which one. Possible options: the Sun Bowl in El Paso, the Pinstripe Bowl in Minnesota, or the Pinstripe Bowl against Minnesota.
The Liquid Plumber Bowl.
Is that really a bowl?
Yeah, the Liquid Plumber Toilet Bowl. I think that's what the Canes might be going for this year.
Yeah, okay. I was like, wait, I misheard you. I was like, wait, what?
So would you guys want to play Florida?
I think so. I think so, actually.
Really?
I think that would be enticing. I mean, everything that's been online from their players chirping up in the last 24 hours on Twitter saying that fucking what's that clown's name that just got fired there at the game. Yeah, about him feeding them Lunchables and Pop-Tarts and fucking giving them fast food in the rooms before, like he wasn't taking nutrition very seriously.
Oh my god.
Dude, I would love to play the Gators, man. I would love to play the Gators.
Fucking weirdo though too, like.
Yeah, with his fucking wife open mouth kissing all the players on the team, fucking 21 and 22-year-olds.
But is he not the most trolled coach by other coaches? I mean, have you ever seen another coach of another team after he whips your ass dress up in a Vader outfit? I mean, you don't have to say nothing. We all know what it was about, right?
That was good. That was good. That was good.
And no, I don't want him on.
No. I gotta be honest. For my own selfish reasons, I'd want to see them. Like, it would be kind of cool to see them in the Sun Bowl, just because if I go, that's a shorter flight.
Yeah, 6 hours for me.
Yeah. 6 hours? Driving? Yeah. So, and there's a possible matchup against UCLA. So my boy is a lifelong UCLA fan. So, we talked about going to the game if they played each other in a bowl game. So yeah, it would be pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we can just get a fucking bowl win. It's been
since 19,
when was it?
18? When we beat the first year.
When we beat was it West Virginia or something?
West Virginia and what was that? The Citrus.
I don't know, the fucking Zaxby's Bowl or something. Stupid Gaylord Hotel Bowl.
Oh my god! Because they were making fun of us because we were taking it to the recruit's house the next.
Oh, I don't remember.
If somebody remembers it, just let us know. Yeah, we all know what we're talking about. The last bowl game we won.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Depending on who the Canes play, that'll gauge my excitement. Obviously, you can, look at TVD going for 7 games in a row on this streak now. But for me, I think I'm much more in tune and excited and waiting for what are you going to do with the AD and head coach and possible GM / director of football operations? What is going to happen in the next 7 days, or not even 7 days, 5 days? What's going to happen by Sunday morning when these conference championships are over? And we might actually in the next 5 days really know the future of Miami Hurricanes football. So I think the bowl game's kind of like a way far off dessert, and maybe not even a dessert, but we got some entree shit that's happening in the next 5 days.
Let's kind of get into that, because obviously we're all waiting for the AD. I feel like some dominoes have kind of fallen in college football in terms of other coaches getting hired at different places. Lincoln Riley going to USC, which was big. They just signed that. They just signed, what's his name? Is it Malachi Nelson? that 2023. Yeah, he plays like literally like 10 minutes away from my house at Los Alamitos. They were actually in the same league as my high school.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, already like paying dividends. Obviously Brian Kelly going to LSU. Do you think that this kind of can impact maybe Mario deciding to come to Miami? You know, Lincoln Riley going to USC. I mean, USC obviously has to be, a favorite in the Pac-12 now.
Well, I mean, I don't think it impacts it, but here's my take, and I alluded to earlier in the show that I have an inside source within the Ducks football program that's at practice every single day. So I've been getting Mario stuff every single day from him, and so when Mario went and took that flight last Saturday night after the game and said, "I'm going to see my sick mom," his mom is in very grave condition. He took that red-eye flight to Miami last Saturday night after the Ducks game, and it was just a 24-hour visit. And so the rumors were awry that he was, in fact, whether it was in person or on the phone, was going to have a conversation with Canes brass. But what my source told me is that Mario and his agent have been in active contract renegotiating this contract with Rob Mullins, the AD, for the last better part of 2 weeks, and they have not come up with it. So what Rob Mullins is trying to do is he's trying to add extra years onto the contract, right? Mario signed a new contract last December, a 6-year contract paying him 4.5 million a year. Well, as we know now, look at Brian Kelly. He's going to get 9.5 million a year, and that doesn't even include the extra bonuses and little things he can get. And Lincoln Riley's north of 10 now. So Mario is trying to get that restructured deal, and Rob Mullins is doing it by trying to add years onto the contract. And I don't think he's budging by trying to go north and get him anywhere near the $6, $7, $8 million. Well, the new boosters that we have in town at Miami, who knows what they're going to pay and what that AD is going to okay as far as green lighting. Let's throw the book at Mario or Elaine. But Mario has said, and this is from my source, that no other offers he's considering until he speaks and gets this figured out with Rob Mullins. But he's, quote, extremely aware of the Miami offer that is on the table. So he's not hearing stuff from other people, but that Miami offer is right there in front of him. Whatever it's been talked about, it's probably informal, but if he gets spurned by Rob Mullins and Rob Mullins just wants to tack on a few extra years, my source told me this afternoon, Mario is 100% in play. So this contract renegotiating is not getting locked up with Rob Mullins, and this has been going for 2 weeks. He said 100% in play to leave.
I like that.
And he's at practice every day around anybody that's high up in the Ducks program.
Yeah. I think too, obviously, like we talk specifically about Miami Hurricane football for the most part. Obviously we talk some baseball and some basketball at the minimum. And I think that's what's kind of getting overlooked here too. It's like all Miami sports have kind of hit a downward trajectory. Basketball just got blown out by Alabama, who was a ranked team, but, it's not the same team that was making the Sweet 16 under Coach L. Baseball had a huge disappointing year last season. I think, this change needed to happen. And to me, it's like getting someone proven that has done this before and turned around multiple sports in a program. And I wanted to ask you guys specifically about a name, the former Louisville AD, Tom how do you pronounce his last name? Tom Jurich? Jurich.
That's what I've heard it pronounced.
Yeah. I felt like that was one of the names that we really heard like right out of the gate. And then it kind of settled down. I had heard some things about whether, because we obviously have like a consulting like firm helping with the search, and that they maybe didn't recommend him as an option. What are your guys' thoughts on him specifically, and anyone else that maybe like we're not really hearing about that you could hear, even though I feel like we're hearing all these names as well?
Well, yeah, I would let maybe KNX go first on this, because I don't know a ton about the guy. I mean, of course, we heard the rumors and it's Gino today, and we've heard the rumors in the last week that it's going to be Zoe, or Zoe's going to get a GM. So I don't really know my feeling is that whoever it's going to be, whether they have that supplementary role with as another hire like a Zoe, it's going to be your GM, that stuff is in place. And I saw multiple different spots that Manny Diaz's buyout actually goes down tomorrow on December 1st. So there was going to be no coaching things that were going to happen before tonight at midnight. That's why I'm saying, like, the next 48 hours, I feel like they have their AD in place. They have this other position in place if they're going to do it or if they're not going to do it. And then they have already talked to the top candidates, whether it's informal or not. They've talked to gauge interest and find out that when we announce this AD, then comes the axe on Manny, and then we're going to, like, you know what I mean? Like a boom, boom, boom. We're not going to announce an AD and then hire a coach 3 weeks from now. I feel like it's all these dudes are moving in silent, and they're going to announce a very calculated, here's the AD, Manny's gone, here's who we're going to announce as our new coach, right? I mean, it could happen similar to what we saw with LSU and USC. I don't know.
So you kind of seem similar to what David Lake is saying. Pretty close.
As far as
the timeline. Kind of the same deal.
Well, yeah, I knew the buyout goes down tonight at midnight, which would make 0 sense for them to fire Manny before today. To me, it also would make 0 sense to keep Manny until the bowl game. For what reason, right? It just seems like the stuff that I've read and the stuff that I've seen seems like it's a package deal. Like, you would have the AD, and the AD already knows who he wants as the coach, and the board of trustees or the potential whoever higher ups in that administration, maybe Julio Frank, they've already had a conversation with that potential coach and got a verbal, yeah, I'm in. You get this AD, I'm in. So, you know what I mean? Like, I feel it could be a package deal that gets announced as a boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
No, I think so too. I think the next 48 hours, just like you said, is going to be key. And I don't know, we might have to do like a Twitter space or something, Caniacs, to cover that thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, but, you know, like he's saying, it could be possible that they're not on Manny yet. One reason to keep the pressure off of Cristobal, keep him from being pushed away. You know, all the hounding of got to ask a question. Oh, what about the Miami job? You know, and then he can say, you know, like David Lake said, he can just say, like, I'm not going to talk about a position that's, you know what I mean, and they can squash that. Sure. And if Manny was fired before Friday, you know, all these questions, he might be like, you know what, I'm done with this bullshit. You know, so I don't know. We'll see. Even if it's not Mario, I just nothing. Like I said, nothing against Manny. I just like to see another coach. We need to not have another first-time head coach. We do not need another working on learning on the job shit. You know what I mean? We need somebody that knows what they're doing. The baseball program is suffering. It is. I mean, again, we got another top class. We got all these studs and everything. If we don't make it to Omaha this year, it's just another failure. I mean, I'm gonna be straight up honest. The basketball team, I'll let that go with Maddie because he knows more about the basketball than I do. I know that we talked to a couple of guys and they say it's a rough offense to do. It's based off of ball movement and motion, and it is more about setting plays. You know, I'll let Matt talk more about that. But I mean, looking at the game, I mean, watching them play, they don't look really good. I mean, to be quite honest, I mean the Dayton games was I just couldn't believe what I was watching during that Dayton game. It was horrible.
Dayton, and like, not to get too off topic, but Dayton was a team that, I mean, they won their next game against who did they beat? Was it Alabama? I think in that tournament they beat like a ranked team, and they looked really good. They had lost 3 straight games before that, but I mean, I think it's reflective of they're like the youngest team in college basketball. But I think too, like, the main problem that we've had just in terms of basketball, just to like summarize this up, has been injuries. We've had too many injuries in this whole offensive system. It's like you said, it's not set plays, and you don't run offensive sets. It completely relies on team chemistry in terms of, like, there's not a set motion that you do. You read the defense and react, and, you know, that takes a lot of coordination with your teammates. And if you don't play with a guy, you know, for 10 games or whatever, like, that's going to make a difference. And that's what the biggest hindrance has been, in my opinion, for the basketball team. And hopefully this year, man, they can turn it up, because the ACC is like terrible this year in basketball. It's literally Duke,
just like this year in football.
Yeah, well, it's Duke, and then there's no other team in the top 25 from the ACC. No North Carolina, no Virginia Tech. I think there's not even, because it's just like football, the AP rankings. Like there's the top 25 and then like the most votes after that. And I think there's like no one even in the top 30. I think, unless I'm totally like not thinking correctly, but it's crazy. And this is the year they could have made some noise, but it's still super early, because basketball's a sport of momentum, and you gotta, you can always heat up. So they have been shooting poorly, so you just never know. But anyways, getting back to like this whole thing, I think we'll definitely know next 48 hours, like Chris had said. I think something is gonna break, and we've heard the right things, but I think we've kind of, that's what we've heard in the past, that the school cares about football and yada yada yada. I'll believe it when I see it. That's where I'm at. I've been a fan for the shortest amount of time out of us three, and my best memories of this like program, I'm 27 years old, so as you can imagine, I started watching them like when I was like in middle school, like high school. My best memory is like that Duke game when we won off that like crazy lateral play like on Halloween.
Yeah, that was
like
like
that's like how sad is
like
that? Yeah, how sad is that? That's like
That's pretty sad. Yeah.
I rewatch old games and just like cry myself to sleep that I never got to actually experience that. And I mean, I'm hoping we need to get this thing turned around, like, and seeing what USC is doing, like, for instance, there's always that comparison of the two schools, because they're both private universities. They were both dominant in football for a while, and athletics in general. Like, I don't want to say it gives me hope because it's a different animal, but like, I'm just like, why can't we have this? I want to have this. And obviously it's super early. They just hired Lincoln Riley and everything, but like,
well, they hired Lincoln Riley, already gave him $1 million bonus by buying his house he just had built that they were just getting ready to move into. And they paid him $500,000 and bought his old house, and then bought him a $6 million house out in LA.
Absolutely.
Jesus, come on, man. If that,
wait, only $6 million? That's only like 2 bedrooms, man. That's right, like nothing.
I know, but I mean, I don't know. They might be waiting on their new house to get built for $10 million. I don't know.
Yeah.
But and I know people, and I would love to put this to bed. The stadium thing, bro. Hard Rock is an awesome fucking stadium. If we win, it will get full. It doesn't matter if there's only 1,000 people in the student body.
Yeah, for sure.
When the Orange Bowl was going, I've been to the Orange Bowl when it was going. I've been to the Orange Bowl when it wasn't going. It was not sold out every single game. Yeah. Big games and high-profile games and shit like that. Oh, that place was packed. If it was going to be on national television, it was pretty much packed. But not every game was sold out, man. It doesn't matter. It's an NFL stadium. These kids want to go on Sundays and play in the NFL. They go on Saturday to see what they can have on Sundays. Pitt can say that. There's only a few other teams that can say that throughout the country. You go to Alabama, probably a bad excuse, but because they're winning the national championship. But there's a lot of people. The stadium thing is done. We don't need a stadium to win games.
Hard Rock's just fine.
We're not losing games because we don't have a stadium. That's not that conversation.
I'm not doing that. Well, let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you guys this. So, do both of you? Let me get your opinion. Do you think we have a new AD and Manny is fired before you guys do your next show next Tuesday?
Yes.
I'm going to say yes, only because December 15th.
Okay. So yes on both accounts by your show next Tuesday. We don't have to have a coach hired, but AD's here and Manny's got the boot.
Yeah.
Also, I'm glad you brought up the show next week. We got a special guest planned for next week. No one knows about this. Caniacs, who are we bringing on next week?
Trey Savage. Did you hear that?
Why'd you whisper it?
I don't know. Trey Savage.
I I did hear the whisper.
That was really creepy, man. Like, I just want to shut my computer, bro. Yeah. So we're obviously we're having Trayvon Hill on, former Miami Hurricane. I'm interested in talking to him. I don't know where the conversation is going to go, and we'll kind of see how it goes. And Chris, I know you're a busy dude. If you want to hop on that and ask a question or two, let us know.
I might have to punch in on the board. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll get some celeb questions in there.
There you go.
I like it.
Yeah, but with that being said, anything else, boys, you guys wanted to talk about?
What do you guys got?
We haven't had a show since this happened, but your boy's engaged.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I did.
Sick and dying.
I did hear that.
I will officially say congratulations on the show, Big Day.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm happy for you.
I said it in private to Matt. Yeah, I said very lovely fiance.
Yeah, he did. So excited about that. Man, I'm glad I don't have, like, obviously hiding it from her. That was like a huge thing because I work with her too. So it was just like, whoo, it was a lot to hold on to. So I'm glad that the aspect of just hiding it is over. But yeah, man,
it worked out good, man. It worked out good. It looked lovely and all that good stuff. Good, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, man, I'm ready. I'm ready to go next week. Thank you for coming on, man, Chris. It was great to have you on, and
but like they don't know where to find you, go ahead and let them know where to find you.
Oh yeah.
So if you guys aren't already, you can follow me on Instagram at 5x_national_champs. And so it's my Miami Hurricanes Instagram page I've been doing for about 3 years. We got over 10,000 followers. So many of you follow already. So that's where I'm doing daily posting content and where I do most of my Miami Hurricane engaging with the fans.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you guys having me on, man. It's been since the season preview episode, man, where we preview what was going to happen, and then we blink our eyes. Here we are 3 months later, man.
That's crazy.
It was. That's crazy. Holy cow.
Yeah, that was.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it big time, guys, man. That season flew by, so hopefully on to bigger and better and brighter, man, for the next year.
Yeah, we got some
hopefully
coming for up. Got some plans.
I like it. Announcement ready. I like it.
But I do want to say this to all the seniors. Appreciate you guys, man. Nothing but love. I know we rag on you a little bit, but it's just football. Never anything personal. Because I do appreciate the blood, sweat, and tears you guys put in for this program. For me to be entertained, for me to have this platform to talk about you guys, that love this team for as long as I can remember. Old guy, I watched a lot of your daddies. Some of your daddies play ball, but thank you, and just hopefully that these new up and coming AD coach, whatever next season comes up, that we can finally get back to where we.
Amen.
Thank you guys all. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys, especially for listening on the podcast. That's all I got. I just appreciate everybody, man. Say that. Yeah. And another thing, sorry, real quick, bro. Tomorrow's December 1st. We all know what's fixing. Traffic, jams, long lines. Have some patience, people. Have some patience. We know it's coming. Just give yourself a little extra time. You know what I mean? There's no sense in punching out people in the line for just because you want to. You know what I mean? Nice to everybody. Holidays.
Absolutely.
On that note, baby. Yeah. What's it all about, guys?
It's all about the U. Go Canes.
Go Canes, baby.